Oh, we're not live yet.
What?
See. You are live. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Excellent.
Good morning, humanity.
So if this is supposed to be like an impromptu, like coffee thing, like so everyone has to have their coffee.
Get your coffee.
Get your coffee.
Yeah. Get your coffee. We're going to solve the world's problems over coffee.
But you have no idea the shenanigans that went on just to get to this point right here.
This is not true, Kevin.
It's shenanigans.
Kevin.
It was just like, we're going to do this raw, like hair, like we just woke up, kind of, it's coffee time kind of thing. And she's doing her hair and getting her like new clothes on. And
oh my God.
And
he's totally exaggerating.
And the mic has to be over here. And oh my God, it's like.
He's slightly embellishing, I will say.
Not one bit. Shy of me doing construction this morning to prevent a nice backdrop here.
Well, it was supposed to look a little better than it does.
See what I mean? That's what I mean.
But this one here, it was too bright. The sun is shining today, which is nice. And this is a window behind us. So.
Oh yeah, we would have looked like deities.
And so it would have been actually quite correct.
No. Enough of that.
See, I should know better because I studied this stuff, but it's been 10 years. It's been 10 years since I studied media and learned about all the cameras,
you know what?
angles, and lights.
I think that light needs to come this way by about like 2 inches.
Really? Why?
Just because.
Okay.
I'll go this way.
Oh, I don't know. It's the opposite direction. Anyway, hi everyone.
No, I think that one needs to come this way.
Kevin, we've been threatening to do this for actually years. I gotta have a sip of coffee here.
Oh yeah, just a note on the coffee.
We've been threatening to do this for years, Coffee Time with Kev and Ava, and I don't really know what's prevented it. It just hasn't happened. So we would do timing. Yes, we used to do live coffee times though.
In our backyard, yeah.
Yeah, we would invite the community to come over during the pandemic, during the COVID era.
When you couldn't get together. We were getting together. We were
inviting people to our house for over. Coffee. We're like, come on
Coffee's
over.
At 9:30. Let's go.
But we're in lockdown. We don't care. What's that got to do with anything?
Absolutely nothing.
So we did do that, I will admit, during the COVID era. I don't even want to call it that because that gives it too much.
Let's just call it the COVID bullshit.
The COVID bullshit. Yeah. So anyway, we did that.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
And we have been threatening to make this a live event online for years now. And we just finally decided, what the hell? We're just going to do it. And yes, it was supposed to be super impromptu and just like we crawled out of bed and just doesn't matter. But I actually got dressed for the occasion today and put my earrings in.
Well, getting dressed is probably a prerequisite.
Yeah. But I did just leave my hair the way it was when I jumped in the shower. So it's not like I went out of my way to try to like.
No, but I think that light needs to come this way.
Oh, Kevin, you're just being foolish now. Yeah, so anyway, we do sit every morning together, my husband and I. This is Kevin, by the way. And yes, I'm Ava. So we do actually sit together in the morning and have our coffee and, solve the world's problems. That's kind of what we call it. But anyway,
we talk about a lot of things.
We do talk about a lot of things. And the whole time we're doing it, I'm just sitting there thinking like, we should be recording this because I think people need to hear this. And by the way, if you can't hear us, please tell us. I think we've got, post a comment so people can comment. I think so. Hopefully you can let us know if you can't hear us. Maybe I have to.
Who's coming over?
Go to Facebook. I'm coming over. I don't know.
Who's coming? Come on over.
It says Facebook user. I don't know.
Oh.
Anyway, so we're still learning this whole thing. StreamYard's new to us, so this is what we're doing. And so what are we talking about this morning?
I don't know.
Kevin is like a barista, okay? So I will tell you this. Like he's big on his coffee and
I enjoy a nice coffee.
Yeah, you do.
There's Diesel going into the shower.
Yeah, Diesel.
Our cat.
He's going
he opens the door with his paw. I go into the shower and lick
the water.
It's a bit of a weirdo, but
he's a weirdo, yeah.
But no, I like good coffee. I like a nice, strong flavor, dark coffee.
Yeah. And you can put a plug in for the coffee maker if you want, like the coffee.
Well, I mean, I'm always searching. Everyone says, oh, you got to try this. You got to try that. You got to try this. You got to try that.
He does try
This is the best coffee in the world.
Yeah.
So finally, I was just walking in the store one day and I saw this little black line that said super dark.
And
So
Kevin
thought,
was instantly
I'm like,
in. Super dark.
Super dark.
I'm in.
Let's give that a try. So it happened to
I
be.
was just going to say something. I'm not going to say it.
No. This is
Okay.
about coffee.
Yes.
Let's be very
Let's
clear.
keep it
This
about
is about coffee.
Okay.
But it was ethical bean super dark coffee. So it's super dark and it's a very intense flavor. So
and he's had an ethical bean actually, like if I could, I would like smack them because they've made it so that you can't just have any coffee now. You have to it's got to be ethical bean because we've tried all these.
We don't make anything from that plug. It's just that's the coffee I found.
No, but we'll take some compensation if Ethical Bean wants to give us some. But the coffee, like we have all this Mexican coffee because we just got back from Mexico.
We've tried all kinds of it.
Yeah, like we've tried all kinds of coffee. It's just it's not quite the same. I mean, I have to admit, you have mastered this Mexican coffee and made it taste good.
I will say we doctor the coffee. I doctor the coffee.
He does, yeah. He cheats.
I call it a variation of the bulletproof because
don't plug him.
I don't give a shit.
Okay.
It's a frame of reference for people.
All right. Yes, it started out as this bulletproof type coffee, like the butter coffee.
But it's heavy cream, 35%, and then a generous dollop of butter. Generous dollop of butter.
We like our fat. So.
And then honey and salt.
Yeah, you do add salt because our butter doesn't have salt added.
We don't have salt in our butter, so we add some Himalayan or whatever that is up there.
Yeah, Himalayan salt.
And
and then we blend it.
Then we blend it.
And he gets it really super frothy, and then he gives me the frothy. He gives me the first pour because then it's nice and frothy.
So the nice thing about having the blender full is that you can just keep your cup topped off all the time.
Yeah, we drink a fair amount of coffee in the morning because this is a big mug, right? I drink this and then he adds more to it. I think he's trying to make me a coffee junkie or something. Like, I don't know.
Hook me up right there. Hook me up.
So anyway, what problems of the world are we going to solve today?
Oh, I don't know. So many to think about.
There's so many. We know the world's in a sort of a jam.
Yeah, but we're
if only
coming.
It were just jam, we could spread it over a nice piece of toast.
Yeah, we're coming through it though. As many people are.
We are coming through it. We do believe we are. And yes, by the way, you will hear our cats crying in the background because
I may have to get up and let them out.
They're in-out cats. They have to go in, out, in, out, in.
Now
out,
that they're able to go outside because we have a fenced catio yard, it's just a deer fence, but it allows them to go out, play. Go on the roof of things and whatever.
Yeah, we'll show you our cats because I'm sure at some point Dobby will want to jump up here and sit on his father's lap, and they're very much he's the cat freak. I just kind of go along with it. It's kind of like the coffee. I'm not the coffee freak, but I just go along with it. Support him and.
I still want to know who's coming over.
Well, I don't know. I don't even know how they did that, honestly.
It's comment on Facebook, but come on over.
I'm coming over. It just says Facebook user. I don't know. I can't see who it is.
Diesel.
Yeah, you can make comments too. So if you want to make comments,
you've already had treats today.
We're totally into feedback and we're okay with honesty. So if our sound,
but the other thing too is that we have
us,
our ideas and our perceptions and beliefs about things.
Yeah.
And if those offend people, we're just having coffee here.
Yeah.
Right. So quite honestly, I'll be honest. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Right. I don't care if you get offended by something I might say or we might say.
Because we're just being real.
But that's your shit.
Wow. You're like coming right across like boom. Like you're just laying it out.
No, but we have to set the frame here, right? Because this is about us just having a conversation like we normally do.
Yeah.
Right?
Being free.
Inviting you guys to have a conversation.
Yeah. Like
a lot of these conversations need to be had in earnest right now.
They do. Yeah.
Right? But if you get offended, you got to go look in the fucking mirror.
Wow. Kevin.
No, seriously. We might get this on the table here right now.
Waste no time.
This is what this conversation is about.
Yeah.
Right? Because too many people have gotten the participation trophy, right? Which has destroyed their sense of self and sense of value,
yeah,
right? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So
This is true.
If you disagree, fine, disagree. I don't care. We can have a discussion.
Yeah,
right?
like
That's where discussions start. In
debates used to happen.
Yeah, remember that?
You know,
Or we
we
used to have
be
debating
able
teams
to
and stuff.
have. Yeah, I did some debating.
What if you got a participation award for the debating team?
Hell no. Hell no. Like, really, who wants a participation award? Like, I'm sorry, but I don't. Like, I was an athlete in school. I was very competitive, and I was a good athlete for my small little community, but I got lots of medals and lots of trophies. We talked about this the other day, didn't we?
Can you imagine a
With our
wall
neighbor,
of participation
our
awards?
friend. Yeah, no, thank you. No,
Wouldn't that be something to be proud of?
no,
Sorry, but
you know what's interesting is we were talking about this. With
we got to
our
find the
friends.
drive inside, folks.
Yeah, we were talking about this with our friends the other night when they were here. But you get, because their daughter had just had her hockey end of year party or whatever, and she got most spirit communities or team spirit or something award.
Sure,
and
to me that's an important.
That's awesome.
That makes a lot of sense.
And she was so proud of it, and that's great, and it feels good. And I remember getting lots of these awards, and now that I was saying to her, I'm like, it's so weird because I don't even know whatever happened to all those like medals and ribbons and trophies and everything. I had lots of them.
Diesel.
No damn clue where they are now. Like, I don't know if I stuff them in a bin somewhere, because most of our lives are in a bin. But I haven't seen them for, I can't even remember how long. But, still at the time, it was very satisfying. It was very satisfying to get a trophy and know that you had worked really hard to achieve that, right? And
there's that light again.
Yeah, don't hit your head. Be careful. But there's something about that. We're humans, right? We want to feel rewarded. We want to feel acknowledged, right? We want to feel significant sometimes. Like, some of us need that more than others. That's just reality. So me at the time when I was growing up, I needed to feel that. And I understand that. I get it. I get the psychology of it and the whole bit now. But I mean, I did. And so I worked really super hard to be like try to be the best, But
and you know what?
I think
There's
that's a
nothing
good
wrong
thing.
with that.
That's a good thing.
People
Taught me so much.
But humans are designed, they're designed for competition.
Yeah,
right?
We
in
are
their mind. And they're
naturally.
also designed to always continuously want more. And that's just a fact
Yeah.
of human psychology. So the thing is that if you don't have anything to strive for, right? To want to be good at, then it's time to look in the mirror and be honest.
Right? I'm looking in the mirror of this video right now and realizing that you did not make this mug match my shirt at all.
Oh.
Like, even the Star Wars one, I think, would have worked better.
Well, I mean, after we got fooling around adjusting lights.
Yeah, well, you got to at least try.
Well, you didn't tell me you were wearing a turquoise shirt today.
Well, I would
have tried to match the cup or something.
I have to say something. This is very personal. My husband actually complimented me on my shirt.
Hey, now, settle down.
And he does not compliment. Like, you want to talk like someone who grew up liking all this feedback from being competitive. Well, I was a singer too, but I mean a competitive musician, a competitive athlete, in lots of areas of my life, I was very competitive, and I was well rewarded because I did work really hard to master a lot of these things. So for someone who was used to growing up with lots of positive feedback like that, getting all those, those medals and trophies, to have a husband that doesn't compliment you, it challenges you. It challenges you to go inside and love yourself instead of looking outside yourself for love, because that's ultimately what it boils down to. So lucky for Kevin, his wife sorted all that out. So that she's not requiring all that feedback.
That was my hair.
No, but it's true. He actually complimented me on my shirt. I don't get compliments from my husband. So I thought that was nice. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Cheers. Oh, in honor of our Mexican friends, we should do this properly. We didn't even start this correctly.
Salud.
Yeah.
Luis Enrique, mi amigo.
That's for Luis and Peppo.
Nieli.
Yeah. And Alicia. Those are our friends in Mexico. So we did that for them. And no, this will not be a Spanish podcast, though Kevin, I will say, is pretty good at Spanish now. He'd say no, he's being very humble, but he actually understands it quite well when people are speaking it, as long as they aren't like rapid fire.
Well, Spanish is a very machine gun language. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Like, I would never want to get given shit in Spanish because it was just, it's just like getting beaten with like 10,000 bats all at the same time. It's like, holy shit. Totally. And if you don't know what they're saying, it makes it even worse.
Yeah. So
But I knew enough Spanish to get into trouble.
Yeah.
That's why Luis helped me get out of trouble.
He did. Luis was our lifesaver. This is a guy that, and he owns the cafe. He and his wife Nayeli own the cafe in Honocatepec. Well, are they technically in Honocatepec? Okay, in Honocatepec in Morelos State in Mexico. That is a definite plug for them. It's called Coffee Lovers.
And that's what I saw. The Coffee Lovers, I'm in.
Oh, right, totally in. There's my coffee shop. And there was not much to pick from for coffee in that area of Mexico. We were not in a resorty area of Mexico. So anyway, so we went there and had coffee. Of course, had a conversation because that's what we do, coffee time with Kev and Ava. And we just made friends. And so we've been friends ever since. And we were there for months. Like Kevin was there for almost 10 months in two different legs of the journey or whatever. And I was there 7 months, I think. So so we had lots of time to form friendships, and we did, and we loved our people, and we literally just got back a week and a half ago. So we're adjusting to life back in Canada, and it's
waiting for the next adventure to hit us in the ass.
Yeah, it's not that easy because we came home to snow, so it was tough. But
snow.
It's getting. Kevin's like, I hate snow. I hate snow. But you know what?
I've outgrown it.
Well, I don't know that you ever loved it though. In Kevin's defense, though, he didn't grow up in snow. So I mean,
no, but it's got nothing to do with that.
It doesn't?
I just know the work around snow.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
There's a lot of work.
And I admit Kevin does most of it. All of it.
So
But I do the cooking.
What can I say?
I do the cooking and the cleaning.
It's a team thing. Yeah.
It's a team effort, so he might have to go out and shovel 4 feet of snow, but hey, if he comes into a warm meal, doesn't have to think about any of that, right? I take care of that stuff.
So what would a topic that's been talked about recently a lot is creating something new.
Yeah.
Because we're on, I don't want to say humanity's on a knife edge because I don't think it is anymore.
Make sure you're speaking nice and loud so the mic's picking us up.
No, it's got it. It's no problem.
All right.
I think that just the idea of certainly the last 3 years shenanigans being like front and center in people's minds. I truly hope that
we're going there. Sorry, guys.
I truly hope that people have taken time to reflect on that part of their life, that time in their life, as well as
I think more people are now.
Their response to it.
Yeah.
Because this is the most critical.
Well, the thing is that we want to make it real clear, by the way, that we're not here to bitch about the world's problems. That's not. No. We'll talk about them, but we're not here to bitch about them and just like crank on about them. And we're not the kind of people that just do that and then do nothing about it. That's not our style.
See, that's easy to do, is to see what the problem is. Totally. The big problem with that problem is that people don't want to go look in the mirror, right, to see where the solution is.
Yeah.
Right? That's the problem.
Yeah, too often
that's the problem with that problem. That's the problem with all these other problems is that you just got to go look in the mirror to find where the solution is.
We're waiting for a savior oftentimes.
Everyone's waiting for a savior. Yeah. Trump and this and Polyev and whomever. Fill in the blank. It doesn't matter.
To mention those names. Oh, God.
Whatever. Hi, Andrea in BC. Your buddy.
Who? Andrea. Oh. Okay. We got to quickly tell that story. We used to live in Vancouver.
Right downtown.
Right downtown, Yaletown. Great place, right by the marina. It was really nice. Walk the dog, whatever. Anyway, there's a great cafe across the road called Shuey. I will give them a plug too because we love Shuey.
We took some of their coffee to India with
We did. It was good coffee, and it was little Italian cafe. So we went over there. We would go over there in the mornings and have our coffee when Kevin wasn't making it every day. But we met this gal, and Andrea she actually is US, but from the US, but she was living in Yaletown for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but anyway, she was. But anyway, we of course went to have coffee, and we started a conversation and made friends. This is what we do. So we'd meet her there. We'd see her there almost every day, so we'd chat. And this was years ago, like years ago. How many years ago, Kevin? 2012. See, so like 12 years. What? No, it wasn't 2012 because Trump wasn't even going then, was he?
His name was around, and then we met her again.
No, it had to have been 2014, 16 or so. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. The point is, Trump was on the scene. There's no question. But she hated him. Oh my God.
Like viscerally.
It
was so
her
funny.
Whole body
viscerally.
She'd go, oh, and then so.
Then she'd call us the trumpets.
She calls us the Trumpers. She calls us the Trumpers.
Because
trumpets, we wouldn't hate him. We don't care about Trump. We were we don't care whether, it's okay if you hate him, but we don't hate him. And she'd be like, but he did this and he does it. She was just going, and we're like, but we don't hate him. We don't feel hate towards him.
Didn't give a shit at all.
We didn't care. That was the whole point. We're like, Andrea, we don't care. We're not going to sit here and say we hate someone that we don't hate. We don't hate him. And she's like,
but the funny thing,
but he's like, and she would just get all like.
So the funny thing to this story is when we meet again for coffee, just happen to meet in the coffee shop, I'd say, hey, Andrea, how's your buddy Trump doing? Right? Just a bugging. And so much fun.
Oh my God, it was terrible.
So much fun.
But the truth of the matter is, yes, you may find that we are we will talk about political stuff a little bit, but we're not politically oriented in that way where we're left or we're right or we're, Polyev or Trudeau. Oh, I just said his name. But we're just not, we don't care. What we care about is the impact that they have on
Hollywood
the
for ugly
world.
people.
It is Hollywood for ugly people. We just think it's theater.
It's theater. People are I believe that, all these people that go into the Commons or whatever crap show they got going on here in Canada, as they walk in or they get it emailed the day before, tomorrow, this is your role in the Commons.
Well, they're given their script.
And they send the script literally to everyone. And if you get your thing and you just sit there and shut up and don't say anything. And then when your leader says something, you clap, right? Then that's your role. Or if you're some, I don't know, opposition people person or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't believe anything actually gets really done there. It's not done there. It's done in the back rooms and.
Yeah, it is totally. And it's meant to make people think that they're doing something and getting paid far too much, I'm sure. But they really don't.
They get the script the day before
we need to
or
understand,
the day as they're walking into the building.
We need to understand that they aren't the people who actually make the decisions. They're just the ones out front.
Anyway,
So.
I think all that shit's going to disappear fairly soon.
Maybe. We're hoping.
You know what? I mean,
honestly,
when you display incompetence for decades, at some point, the people have to wake up to the idea that these people are incompetent and they're raping you of all your money. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
Right? And it behooves us as a population, and I really don't give a shit who hears this.
Hold them accountable.
Hold them accountable, but replace them or come up with something new that works better.
Yeah.
Right? Because people, I believe the human spirit is going to trump everything here.
We do believe that, by the way.
And the creativity of people that we have seen, right? And the dedication we have seen of people that are around us, right? That truly care about having something new to wake up to. Yeah. Because this all is about our kids. He's
been saying this forever.
This ain't about you.
Yeah.
Right? Or me.
We may never see the full
We may never see the results of everything we do here.
Try to change things, but we want our kids to. We want our grandchildren that we may have someday. By the way, I don't have any grandchildren yet. Just waiting. I'm just waiting.
No pressure or nothing.
No, there is no pressure. I love
But
kids.
at the end of the day, if we don't do this here for us, right? our kids are going to have to fight it. And if our kids don't fight it, then
their kids are
their
going to
kids
have
are
to
going to
fight
have
it.
to do it, right? So
If there is any fight left by that generation, because there might not be, because of the way that they're psychologically manipulating the human mind, like hard. I mean, it's very possible in a couple more generations there may not be any fight left in people's minds because
they've already proven
indoctrination
that they can electronically present an idea into a group of people and get the group of people to do what the idea is.
That's called groupthink.
No, right? This is called psychological mental manipulation.
Well, yeah, of
and
course,
they've used it in war and proven it.
Yeah. Kevin, by the way, is a former military dude, so he does have a clue about such things, and he's a former police officer as well. Did you want people to know that?
I don't know. Don't hold it against me. Oh no, I can see the plug. I can see the switch. Oh no.
He came, but he married me. So I say I saved him. Mm-hmm. I saved him. I did.
So anyway. But I mean, I think there's something new coming. There's something new on the horizon.
We have to believe there's something new
the
coming.
Participants in that.
Absolutely.
Right?
We can't sit around and wait for any friggin' Trump guy to do anything, or I don't have to Polyev, please. Like, seriously, like, no, we can't be.
So here's the thing.
We can't replace one idiot with another idiot.
Have you ever wondered where the term or the phrase "vote for the lesser of two evils" came from? Right?
I don't know where it came from.
I don't care where it came from. What happens is that we think it.
We do.
Right? Because we look at choice A, choice B, choice A, choice B.
It's the illusion of choice.
It's the illusion of choice, for starters.
Yeah, it is.
But why the fuck vote for evil? Has anyone stopped to ask that question?
Why are we voting for evil?
Why are we voting for evil? Period.
Yeah.
Right? This is the question we have to ask ourselves.
Especially when these are supposed to be the leaders of our country.
They couldn't lead anything out of a wet paper bag, these people. They have proven their incompetence for decades and decades and decades.
Kevin.
No, it's true.
Don't hold back, dear. Don't hold back.
The time for this is a line from Gladiator.
You'll find out Kevin loves his movie quotes.
I love movies, quotes, and
Kevin
stuff
is
because
like the movie quote
they can be
guy.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
There's a line from Gladiator right near the end, just before Commodus stabs Maximus in the back. Right?
Yeah. That's a metaphor.
Yeah. He says, "The time for honoring yourself will soon be at an end." Yeah. And that's where we are right now. So
it is. That is where we're at in this stage of humanity on this planet. And I just have to say, Gladiator's a great movie. I'm a little emotionally attached to it because it's the first movie Kevin and I ever watched together. And I had already said yes to marrying the man, but it is the first movie we watched together. And when I saw him cry at the end of that movie, I was like, this is the right man to be marrying, you know? So just had to put that in there. Because we had only met the day before. And a few weeks later, we were married. That's just how we are. But yes, you're right. The right for honoring yourselves, politicians.
The time for honoring yourself will soon be at an end.
Yeah, and
right?
And the WEF people.
Klaus Anal Schwab?
Yeah, those kinds of people. You know, but this is not negative talk. I think this is positive because this is encouraging that humanity is waking up on such a large scale right now. Like en masse, humanity really is waking up to
This is the quickening, folks.
It is the quickening. You've been saying that for a long time, actually.
Things are happening faster and faster and faster.
They are.
Even your concept of time.
It is speeding up.
Right? We are now in April.
Yeah. Like, that's shocking.
Right? Like, it seems like New Year's, like was yesterday.
I know. And you know what? Look at what happened this week alone. We survived the solar eclipse. Like, we survived an apocalypse.
And all I got was this stupid t-shirt.
I know, like this.
Right?
Oh, I like my pretty t-shirt though.
No, but as a bumper sticker.
But I mean, we survived it.
That was another Y2K
oh my God.
scam, eh?
Dear
folks?
Lord. the friggin' media hype built up for that solar
It's
eclipse.
too bad for them that solar eclipses have been happening for however long the moon's been in place for us.
However long, and we don't know how long that's quite been there. We will not go there today. We are not going to discuss whether or not the moon is real today. Oh my God, I'd have to have a couple more mugs of coffee to do
Or
that.
a shot of something in it.
Maybe, yeah.
So, but I mean, yeah, I mean,
It's just, yeah.
come on. Like, we understand there's a lot of cosmic energies and stuff that are pummeling the planet right now, and that's a good thing because it's
And they are because, and I know some people go, oh, please give me a break. But listen, like you would say I'm sensitive. I would say I've got a highly developed intuition. But yes, I can feel energies for sure. And there's no question that there are things happening. You see it on social media, people going like, is anyone else hearing these high ringing sounds in their ears, like, or feeling like severely depressed all of a sudden, and it's not in my character for this to happen at all, or like lots of different things, like feeling like I've got tingling all over my body, like what's going on? And I just, well, of course, leading up to solar eclipse, I go, well, it just must be the solar eclipse.
gotta blame it on something.
But I mean, there's no question energetically, yes, there's an impact from such events. There's no question that there is. It's just, we have to just take the time to get grounded. Like, we do need to get grounded. There's a lot of friggin' electrical energy that pummels us every day, like low orbit satellites and stuff. Like, what's that called?
No, they're not a problem. Skynet.
Skynet? Is that what it's called?
No, that's what Terminator.
Oh, that's what the movie called Skynet, right, from Terminator. But it's the same idea, isn't it?
You think? That's where they set it in stone for us.
Yeah, that's where they put the idea.
So the funny thing is, with all of these ideas that they've ever presented to humanity, Simpsons, movies, whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Predictive programming, right?
That's what it's called. But the funny thing is that they have no capacity to create anything. They need us.
We don't need them
to create for them, right? So that when we put something, they install an idea, right? It's called the whisper technique, right? You just whisper it, and then it just, oh, did you hear? Oh, then people think it's their own fucking idea.
Who calls it the whisper technique?
Well, I don't know, CIA or shit like that.
Oh,
whatever.
Oh, okay.
But it's about dripping an idea onto the population.
Definitely. Like, if you
and then
understand
they create it so that,
yeah.
Trump is a good one.
Yeah.
Right? When, 10 years prior to whatever president thing he apparently won was a reality, the idea was already in the mind of the people 10 years prior.
Through Simpsons, right?
Through the Simpsons.
Right.
Right?
And you think, oh, big deal, like, come on. But if you understand the unconscious mind, and they do, they really do, then they know what they're doing, because they're injecting those ideas into someone's unconscious
and then
mind.
we make it a reality for them.
That's right. And that's kind of like our consent, because we actually
why don't we just stop doing that?
Well, we have to become aware.
Right. But I think this last 3 years has brought a lot more awareness to a lot of people, right? Because the entire reality is inverted, right? Yeah. So the whole idea is government says to do this, you do that. They say, come this way, you go that way, right? Or authority. And
are you suggesting that we do the opposite?
Well, inversion, things are inverted, right?
Yeah.
Right? So by the nature of an inversion is you have to
do the opposite,
right? Because they're saying, look over here, right? While I'm fondling you over here, right? You're being distracted over here by, I don't know, bridges falling down and, some friggin'.
And what's
supposed
funny?
Like some royal person or whatever.
We were traveling at the time when that bridge did come down there on the 1st, wasn't it? April 1st, April Fools. I think it was the 1st. But anyway, maybe it wasn't. No, that's not true. It wasn't April 1st, because it was the 25th, I think, of March, actually, end of March, when we were in Colorado. But what's funny is our our friend had said right after that happened, because they were with us down there in Colorado, traveling with us, and she actually said, Yeah, but you know what? That's on the East Coast. So when something's happening on the East Coast or on the East, pay attention to what's going to happen on the West, because there's definitely going to be something else happening on the other side. And we were sort of like, oh, really? And then what did we find out later that day? That's when Hollywood was, I don't know, crashing or something. Like people were going, Hollywood actors are being outed for pedo this and that and whatever. It's like, oh, okay, well, there's your West.
So enough of the problems. We know.
We know that these problems
aware.
exist.
I
think anybody who would be listening to us, like if you're listening to this point, thank you, by the way. Cheers. Hope you have your coffee in your hand. But we aren't really honestly about just bitching about the problems in the world. We might make fun of them a little bit, or we might.
We're aware.
We're aware. We're very aware.
For sure.
But we honestly, okay, Kevin and I are at this point in our lives are about, let's try to solve them. Let's try to solve
what do
these
we want to
problems.
create instead? Because I think that we cannot restore what is there. Right?
At all.
Well, so here's the thing. There are certain pieces of hard infrastructure, right, that can be repurposed into something new.
Yeah.
Right? However, these mental constructs of systems that have been put in place for decades, centuries, millennia, whatever you want to call it, for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? We have to create something new so that the old just becomes obsolete. So a lot of what we chat about, and certainly with the people that are around us, is what can we do instead?
What can we do instead?
What's available to us?
It's kind of like it's a great thing to be considering. Like great thing.
But the one thing that we all have to understand is we need to get think about this as a concept now, is about getting self-sufficient.
You're like just throwing everything out on the table this morning.
Well, you started it.
Yeah, but Kevin.
You did.
Okay.
So can we get self-sufficient? But self-sufficiency needs to be on every single level, right? So you start with yourself personally.
Grow your own food.
No, but what do I need to be self-sufficient? And then what do we need to be self-sufficient? Oh, there's a curtain adjustment right there.
Bugging me.
Oh, my goodness. Shoot. Your head's hiding like a switch. That's good.
Is it?
I think so.
All right.
I'm glad we sorted that out.
Trying to get everything's talk about inversion. When you're looking at yourself on this screen, it's flipped, so it's kind of screwing me up. I'm kind of like, hi Steve, thanks for being here, good to see you.
So what do I need to be self-sufficient personally, right? And then what do we need to be self-sufficient? And then what do we and our immediate sort of A, family, or B, neighbors need to be self-sufficient? What does the neighborhood need to be self-sufficient? And on and on and on. So these discussions start here, right?
Like literally right here.
Right here, right?
Between
so
us.
right now we're looking at, with one of our neighbors, how to sort out a water issue.
Yeah.
Right? A source water issue. So I have a solution for that.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's like the Jugaar. No, I'm not even gonna say Jugaar because that's an Indian term, by the way. We used to live in India, and Jugaar means you just kind of make do with what you got and kind of try to fix about stuff and whatever. And it doesn't always look good or work. It just gets it going. Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Well, it's like MacGyvering something, like anything and everything. It's the Ways and Means Act of India. It's Jugaring. Right?
Yeah, you Jugaar it. So it's like it could look completely ridiculous, and you use the most
like
silly
duct
things.
tape and wire.
Yeah,
and
but they just get by,
They
right?
make it
so
happen.
it's called Jugaar. So we kind of just laugh about it now.
And Mexico has its own version.
Totally.
Like those guys, they will fix anything. Like
anything. It's crazy. But anyway, Kevin's more of a MacGyver, to be quite honest. Like this mind right here is pretty genius. I tell him he's my little genius, and he can fix, build, design, freaking anything. Like that's your little plug, Kevin. That's your plug.
So we're doing it. We're doing some solutions for this water thing because the groundwater here is absolutely atrocious. Terrible.
Okay, well, we don't need to get into all of that.
But we're looking at a solution for that. So that, from a self-sufficiency point of view.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What can we do together to sort of support each other in self-sufficiency?
And
does it mean we have to bring chickens over here? Right? Or, You know, someone else comes from the neighborhood to tend the chickens, and then we share the eggs, or
And these are things we're talking about.
like all of this sort of stuff. So self-sufficiency is a huge.
It does not mean, though, okay, let's be clear. It does not mean you have to be like one of these off-grid homesteaders. You don't have to be doing that to be self-sufficient.
No.
Self-sufficient, like Kevin said, there's many different layers to that. And one of the layers is food sustainability, right? Is being self-sufficient in your food growing, or in your very immediate local community.
But what if
helping
you
each
were
other.
to take an exercise in determining what your neighborhood needs to sustain itself in terms of its food consumption, and then energy consumption and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, and what you have
Do
to
the exercise.
Yes.
How many eggs does your community eat per day? Right? How many heads of lettuce? How many whatever, radishes?
How many liters of water do you drink?
How many liters of water do people drink or consume during the day?
Yeah.
Right? But think about these things. Do the exercise.
Yeah.
Right? Because then what that's going to do is it's going to show whether or not there needs to be a local production of, you know, X eggs or whatever. Instead of running to the grocery store, is there any way that we can, you know, maybe start producing that within the community?
Yeah, and we started going back to our chiropractor, and it's really nice to see that they actually have eggs there.
Yeah.
So we can get farm fresh eggs from our chiropractor.
From someone that they know.
Someone brings them in, and they just keep them there for them and sell them to their clients. And I mean, that's brilliant, right? Like, what a great little network. Like, that's so brilliant. I love it. So yeah, it's nice to know. But we do have space here for chickens, so we'll see if I don't really want to be taking care of chickens. I mean, let's be honest. Like, I don't really want to be responsible for it, just in case we do end up taking off again and for a week or two or 10.
Well, we gotta go west at some point.
Yeah.
Like coming up. Like
so I don't want to
soon.
feel like it's going to be enough to have someone take care of the cats, let alone take care of chickens. So yeah. But I mean, we've got the space here. I mean, we could certainly, you know, if somebody else wanted to, you know, Renee wanted to come and have some chickens, take care of them. Perfect. That's fine.
No, but anyway, it's an interesting exercise, and incidentally enough, we're hooked into a group that's primarily Canadian, but there's people from all over the world. There's people in Ireland and the US and all kinds of other places,
Australia,
that are focusing on solutions, which means that they actually have needs assessment forms or checklists or protocols or tools that we can then attach into our community or ourselves, and we do it at every level.
So this is the good news, okay? Like, we want to be like sharing some good news, and we want to let you guys know that there are good things happening in the world, that the world isn't just going to hell in a handbasket. It's a mad world to some extent, but you know what? We firmly believe too, you do get what you focus on, but we also firmly believe that maybe that a lot of this stuff is happening because it's meant to push humanity towards, you know, more self-sustainability and towards more unity and, you know, waking up and wanting to do something about these problems. I mean, I think we need to understand where we come from, and we need to understand who we are, and then we can finally step into sort of our power and come together to, you know, take charge really of what we need and what we want in this new world. And I ain't talking no new world order, just to say that.
Oh, let's be very clear.
They can just go to hell in a handbasket as far as I'm concerned.
So
but
the agenda, right? The 2030 agenda, right? Here's a little bit of information, is that they have admitted they had to push it to 2050 because they know there's absolutely no way. Yeah. Right.
I don't know if you guys knew that, because we just found that out from David on Saturday.
But they admitted they needed like 100 and whatever trillion.
It was
with
trillions
$1 trillion to make it happen.
Yeah.
Right.
To meet
and they're all broke. Every one of them.
All the terms of the agenda, right?
They're all broke. So this is the nice thing about this scenario.
Yeah.
Governments are broke. Major like world organizations broke.
They're not going to come out and say they're broke. Hello.
I mean, everyone's got different levels of broke.
They're just going to tax you more.
That's right. So in order to reach that, they would have to implement, was it 73% tax on businesses
Either way,
worldwide? And who's going to do that?
They're going to try to rape humanity. So
right?
We're not going to let these things happen, though. This is really what this boils down to. And just so you know, I'm almost out of coffee.
I know.
We're almost done this session.
So this is the interesting thing is that someone that we know had made a little statement about a possible bumper sticker. So we're going to look at doing that.
Okay, don't tell it.
I have to because it's so funny.
Oh, fine.
So
Kevin's determined to make this bumper sticker and put it on our truck.
It'll say WEF/UN/WHO.
Yes,
right?
They're all the same.
2030
entity.
crossed out 2050 ? Right? And then it'll say, we will still know nothing. Or they will still know nothing, and we will be happy. So
yeah. And I'm sure you understand that's a play on the whole you will own nothing and you will be happy.
Yeah, they will still know nothing. And they fucking don't. They absolutely don't, because when they own the information, they can bend it all they want.
Oh, now you're quoting songs.
Well,
that's my thing. You're supposed to do movies. I'm the song girl. You're the movie guy.
Well, how come you didn't bust it out then? Beach to it.
You've kind of taken over the conversation. I just feel like I'm just sitting here drinking my coffee.
So I'm going to put that on the back window of my truck.
And he will do.
And I will. Drive it around town.
He will.
Yeah. They
will
still know nothing, and we will be happy. Yeah.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
We're a little bit bold that way. We're not too afraid to do such things. And, now that we're...
At the end of the day, they need us. We don't need them.
We don't. Now that we're back in town, is what I was going to say, we're actually going to get some stuff going on a local level, too. Because, we want to get people connected again and activated, if you will. For some reason, Kevin and I just seem to be the kind of people that do that. And I don't know. I guess people must like it because they come out. They come out for it. So,
yep.
I don't know. Must have some leadership qualities in there somewhere.
Anyway, so I'll be doing T-shirts, bumper stickers, maybe some hats.
Yeah.
And certainly it's going on the back window of my truck, without question.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Imagine driving downtown, wherever your downtown is, and seeing one of those electronic billboards, right? And seeing a message like that.
Yeah.
Right? Because all of these stupid communities and these people that purport to be our leaders.
Oh, God. I can't even call them leaders.
Right? Purport to be. Right?
Yeah.
Have bought in hook, line, and sinker with resolutions on the table, right? To follow this bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's been painted as something that's good for all of us and it's benevolent, right? An environment and this and that and blah, 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 right?
Protecting the people.
But it's not. It's part of a bigger agenda, folks.
And we will talk more about that. I'm almost out of coffee. Are you out of coffee?
Yeah, I got 2 sips left. So
jeepers. There, Steve said he'll buy some and send them out. No problem.
T-shirt, hat, bumper sticker. What do you want, Steve?
Kevin's
we'll figure it out.
But we have lots of good things to talk about. This is just our first one. We just wanted to get you guys. Oh my God, we've been going 48 minutes. I was wondering how long we've been going.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. The thing is that's usually how long our coffee time lasts anyway. It's a good hour and a half sometimes in the morning. Mm-hmm. And we just, like I said, we just kind of sit and talk about all the solutions to the problems in the world. But here's the thing though. It isn't about us, right? This isn't the Ava and Kevin show. Well, it kind of is the Ava and Kevin, Kevin and Ava show. You wanted your name first. So it's the Kevin and Ava show.
Kind of the Coffee Time with Kev. That she's been bugging me for years.
I've been telling her for
myself.
years to do it. Yeah.
Right.
And then I decided to make it myself part of it too. But here's the thing. This isn't the Ava and Kevin show. We've said that for years. Like even when we were activating people during COVID and having rallies and, speaking on stage and doing all those great things. But we would always say, this is not the Ava and Kevin show. We're just trying to get people activated.
We need help, folks.
Like our friend our friend Melanie back in New Brunswick. We used to live in New Brunswick a couple times too. And she said, she looked at us one day and she said, you know what you guys are? You guys are the bringers together of people. And we're like, we like that. Actually, that's a pretty good description
That's
of
very
what
accurate.
it is. Very accurate. Everywhere we've lived, it seems like we bring these different people together that live in the same community, but don't ever connect, right? Or aren't friends, or don't, and it just seems like we come there and we'll just bring people in, and then they get to know each other, and then we go off and move somewhere else because this is what we've done for so many years, and we do it there, and even just leaving Mexico, I was like, I could tear up right now thinking about it. Like, we introduced our friends Luis and Nayeli with Mito, and then told them how Mito had taken us for this great place, like this great restaurant in the middle of a sugarcane field, like literally, and it's like amazing seafood. And
we got pictures from last Saturday.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, and then we got pictures from Luis because we brought them together, and then Mito and his wife took Luis and Nayeli to this restaurant, so they've become acquainted, and they live in the same damn town, and they have businesses in the same town, and they never got together before.
They knew of each other, but
so I was just like a proud little mom, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad we brought them together. But
either way, we're gonna get some people together here back in Thunder Bay, so
back where we are.
Wait for it.
And online, obviously. We want to motivate people, want to activate people, and we want to get busy because humanity needs to get busy right now.
So let's get back into the movies.
Oh my God.
Right? The movie reference here. And I don't care what you think about the author. I don't care anything. I don't care if you like the movie or not.
No.
I guarantee you're familiar with it.
Yeah.
And that's The Lord of the Rings. Right? So the thing here is that we have throwinthering.com. Okay? And everybody's familiar with the metaphor. When that ring goes in the fire at the very end, what happens? Right? Evil disintegrates into nothing. Right?
You're telling everything in this first coffee time.
But it's coming.
Like,
right?
He's just like unloading it all, like we're never going to be back or something.
But pay attention because this website's coming. Right? So things like t-shirts and those sorts of things.
This is our focus.
This is going to be our solution-based online portal.
Yes.
All right?
We are committed
for everything
to this.
Solution.
Committed.
This has to be. So there may be a requirement for people if they want to join the Throw in the Ring movement, right? Because this is about your personal metaphor of throwing that ring in.
Yes.
Right? You're making a statement by doing that.
Self-responsibility as
right?
well.
It's about agreeing to, it's like having an agreement with humanity.
Yeah.
Of how you're going to promise to interact with humanity, period.
Yeah.
Right? So stuff like that. So all of that is in the works, in the background.
Yeah. There's so much happening in the background.
So much going on.
Any of you who are feeling like, oh, the world's coming to an end.
Why isn't anybody doing it? People are doing stuff.
We want you to know that there's lots of great stuff happening behind the scenes, and just, we want to encourage you and empower you to become one of those people who's working behind the scenes or right out front, but the reality is there's great stuff happening in the world too. So let's be more focused on that. Right? We have to be more focused on that. We have to shift
our focus onto what we want instead, as opposed to what is already going on.
So we're, like we said, we're very much about solving now. Like we don't want to get together and just, because we did that before. Like we brought everyone together over these last few years, during the COVID bullshit.
As well back then.
We were definitely looking at solutions back then. We did take a long break. I will be honest. We did. We kind of pulled back and took a long break, but now we realize it's because the timing wasn't the best, actually. But now we feel the timing is good.
Everything's in the right
Everything's in the right place now. Everything's going in the right direction. And it just seems like now's the time. So Kevin and I, doing coffee time here with you guys, we are committing. Okay, we are making this public announcement right now to the 3 people that are watching live. Thank you for being here. We are making this public declaration that Kevin and I are committing 100% to doing this work. So we are committed to helping humanity. It's been my mission for years that I've wanted to help end human suffering. I just, as a body-mind practitioner of the last 20 years, as an intuitive consultant, as someone who just loves people and genuinely wants to help people.
Guess what?
Ending human suffering is extremely important to me. So
guess what? All you WEF fans out there.
They wouldn't be watching us if they are. That would not be good.
I know the AI is fucking with us and gonna pick this shit up and whatever.
Kevin, you're terrible.
I don't care.
YouTube just like deleted us. Boom, gone.
But here's the thing, right? And I think they know it because their time is numbered and the time for honoring themselves will soon be at an end.
Yeah.
Right? But
that is a quote we should put on a
But the
t-shirt.
human, right? The human psyche and human biology is the wild card.
It is.
Right? And it's going to be the crimp in your plans. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It just is.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Yeah.
Right? It's the friggin' wild card that you cannot predict at all. Our adaptivity, our creativity, our tenacity.
Human spirit,
right?
Actually, I think is the wild card
It's
overall.
the friggin' wild card, dudes.
Human spirit. So the human spirit, I believe, will win. I do.
100%.
But we are at war, whether we want to admit it or not. Like people keep talking about, oh, World War III, da da da, whatever. But it's like, guys, we're already in a war. World War III, like if we, compare it to World War I and II, and it's like a physical, like violent sort of, war or whatever. We might not be, well, we kind of are in that too, but we're at war either way, you guys. They're at war with us, with humanity, and this has been going on for I don't know, centuries. Like this is not new. Okay. Like this is why it's important for people to learn their history. And I will be doing my podcast again. Maybe I can convince Kevin to do it with me. We'll see. But I am going to be interviewing these kinds of people, and we'll be sharing loads and loads of information. And we are going to do some live events as well, where we'll be talking to these people, those people who are in the know, and those people who just have some really great messages for humanity and ideas, and people who genuinely care. We're not going to waste our time anymore on people who just don't really give a shit about humanity. We're going to work really, really hard now that we're back here in our home and in our community. We are going to do our best to support those businesses that are willing to support humanity, really. And before it was anyone who's willing to support the freedom movement.
And remember, if you were one of those businesses that treated people like us like pariahs,
yeah,
right?
We probably won't use you.
We probably won't use you anymore.
Yeah, we probably won't come to your place, and
right?
We haven't.
Because you engaged in criminal activity.
Yeah, we haven't.
This is a fact.
Well, it is, but I mean, we want to support those people who actually want to support humanity. And I mean, but people still have a chance to redeem themselves just because they screwed up before. They're forgivable. People can be forgiven,
sure,
if they genuinely want to make the change. Like that's fine,
If you want to apologize to me,
they don't have to apologize to you, but they have to apologize to people in general.
Yeah,
to the public for what they did.
And it's okay to admit that you were duped.
Yeah, that you were
right?
wrong. You
were manipulated and duped. To do the bidding, right, of the nefarious fucks,
of really bad people.
So
it's
if you want to wake up to the truth of that, by all means,
it's okay to admit you were wrong. Like we've all.
That's what I think. A lot of people are not.
They have a hard time with that.
They have a very hard time because our society, and we won't talk too much longer, but society has been designed, right, into the idea of how can it not be my fault? Right? You think legal systems, you think all of that sort of stuff. The adversarial systems about how can I reduce my liability? Right? For the stupid decisions that I make. Right? Or have made or I'm going to make. Right? How can it not be my fault? Right? So.
But that's not what we want to be about here. We want to be about taking personal responsibility and accepting if we were wrong, right?
And we've been wrong about things before.
Yeah, too. Like we've all made mistakes, but you know what? Acknowledge it, if you have to say you're sorry to anyone for, your mistake or whatever, then so be it. And then just carry on, forgive yourself first and foremost, because I think that's the biggest thing.
But if you're offended by anything we say, go look in the mirror.
Yeah. Kevin's big on that.
Go look in the friggin' mirror.
Yeah. So,
right? That's because that's your shit. It's not my stuff. I can see. Here's the funny thing.
Kevin, you're going on.
No, but here's the funny thing about psychology.
I'm on my last sip. I'm just letting you know.
Okay. But here's the funny thing, right? There isn't anything that I can say, nothing that can make you feel anything.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm not going into your head with probes like Elon Musk, right? And poking certain areas and causing those chemicals to be released so that you can feel something. No, I'm not doing that.
They're getting triggered, but that's not
But that's
your fault.
not my problem.
No.
Right? You have to be responsible for your triggers.
This is true. And we
Right?
will talk more about that stuff too, because Kevin and I kind of
Mhm.
we're kind of trained in that shit. So we do help people with that stuff too. But the thing is that we just wanted to introduce this coffee time after all these years. We did used to have a talk show 10 years ago. Many of you, I'm sure, didn't see it, but we did have a talk show 10 years ago, and then again 7 or 8 years ago or something. I don't know. But either way, we did. So we have done these sorts of things before. But this is just our sort of reintroduction, our relaunch, I guess you will, to the world. Here we are, you guys, drinking coffee together. Cha-ching. And we're just going to use our coffee time, which is typically our personal time together. So I am letting you in to my personal life here, just so you know. I am setting aside the fact that this was kind of our date time every day and letting other people in. Now, are we going to do this daily?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, we'll see. Like, maybe it'll just be impromptu. Maybe it'll be planned. We're not sure yet. So we might be back tomorrow. So just be on the lookout for the little, maybe hit the what do you call it? The like buttons.
9:30ish.
Subscribe. I don't know, notification, but I'm sorry. I'm really not up on all that stuff. But
and who knows? Maybe it might go somewhere where we have to do a live coffee time.
I prefer
With
live.
other people.
And that's our goal, by the way. We want to bring people together. We really, really do want to bring people together. Again, in person as much as possible. Like, we understand in some cases, live stream is the best we can do, but anytime we can bring people together, oh my God, yes. Like, we absolutely need to bring people together, especially after the last few years. Like,
you know what, Steve? I would say it's not about trigger control. It's about trigger elimination.
Well, which would require a person to do their own personal work, right?
So if there's a way that you can eliminate, let's just say anger, right?
Yeah.
Like, anger for a lot of people is like, well, they push my buttons. Where's the button? Is it right there? How about right there? Right?
That kind of hurt, actually.
Sorry.
Oh my God, we forgot to shut our phone off. Is it Louise? Oh, well, don't answer it. We'll have to call them back. Sorry, guys.
So there we have it. But it's about it. I would say it's more about anger or trigger elimination, because what would happen if you all of a sudden weren't triggered by that? Right? I imagine how freeing that could be.
Oh, it's very liberating. There's no question.
Because I mean, they piss me off, and you're getting all upset about some clown that's on the other side of the planet yakking, flapping his gums about WF crap. Yeah. Right? Or a story about Andrea, like using Trump and right, goes off on a friggin' like a top. So the point is that what if that was not there? What could you do with that energy now?
Listen, we're getting into a whole other area that could take a long time to describe. But here's
I'm out of coffee.
Here's the long and short of it is basically you gotta take responsibility for the way that you. Oh my God, I forgot to shut my phone off too.
Who's talking to you now?
You got to take responsibility for your responses to things. Okay. So this is perceptions, right? This is emotional, like getting yourself emotionally balanced. Oh, that's not a nice way to say that, is it? But basically, taking charge of yourself. Okay. So that's what that requires, honestly. But it can come in stages. It doesn't have to come boom all at once. Like, I decided, like we usually do it that way, but it takes time sometimes, and that's okay too. So that's the therapist side coming out of me.
Okay,
But
I'm out of coffee.
I am too, and I really need a drink of water.
Oh,
Yeah, and the cat's gone out.
again.
Yeah.
The in-out cats.
They have
That's what they are.
spoken. They have spoken. So
There goes lobsters right
there goes Dobby. He heard the word out.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So yes, getting aligned. That's exactly right. No question, Steve. It's alignment, coherence, mind-brain coherence. Did I say mind-brain? I meant to say brain-heart coherence. But anyway, we could talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, as you can tell. So we're going to try really hard to keep this shorter because we're at an hour and 5 minutes now. So, but we'll work on that. Like I said, this is just kind of us just throwing it up there.
This is test run number 1.
Yes. Coffee time with Kev and Ava, numero uno.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll keep the conversation going. If you guys join us, and please share it so that other people can join us too, because like we said, this is not the Ava and Kevin show at all. This is about us. This is about us.
I'm lucky that wasn't a backhand, you know. But if you guys have questions that you want to like us to talk about or topics or whatever, just send her a thing. I don't know. I'm not on any of that stuff.
A direct message. Yeah.
DM. That's the lingo.
The lingo. Send
I'm
me a
not on
DM.
any
Kevin's not on social media. So yeah, you
Better
can send me a
things to
DM, that's fine. And I will definitely do my best to get back to you in a timely manner. But what was I saying again? See, you totally took
That's because it's coffee. Coffee's over now.
Yeah.
Right. So
anyway,
okay.
We're here. We want to activate people. Absolutely. We want to help humanity. We do want to help humanity. We're not into saving, by the way, just so you know. We're just going to play our part, and we believe our role is to raise awareness and activate and bring people together. So that's what we're trying to do with our little coffee time here. And we're a little goofy, and we hope that's okay. And yeah, we got potty mouths going on, especially him. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Like,
I just don't care.
You turn a mic and a camera on, and that guy just
no. But I don't give a shit. No, like if you have a problem with someone saying like fuck or shit or whatever.
Oh my God, Kevin!
No, but if you do, that's your shit. It is like come on, like
he's always in teaching mode, and
whatever.
He doesn't hold back. So anyway,
sometimes a well-placed swear word, right, really emphasizes a point. Right, as opposed to I think, right? No.
Dear Lord.
Come on. Let's just get real about things because
there's no question. We have to be.
Everyone thinks it, and everyone has said it before.
Okay, so if you followed along during this coffee time, you'll see that we're just kind of who we are, right? And we don't apologize for being who we are. It's taken us a while to get to this point in our own selves, you know, and in our own lives. So it's a nice place. I don't know if it's something to do with getting older or it's part of it. I think you just kind of get to a place where it's actually quite liberating, where you're way less uninhibited. Is that the right? Inhibited. You're less inhibited and you really don't give a shit anymore. And I don't mean you don't care about life or people or any of that, but you don't care what people think about you, you know? So that's kind of where we're at, to be quite honest with you. We're just going to tell like we see it. And it's okay if you don't agree with it. Like everybody has their own, you know, perceptions and their own perspectives.
But if it triggers you, go deal with it.
Yeah, like deal with it. Don't come on to us because you're all triggered, you know, like we just can't be bothered. So, but anyway, it is what it is. And thank you.
Always love the trolls that go on like things and whatever. And they're for hours and hours. They're like, burning up the keyboard. Setting it like, why don't you just go somewhere else? Right?
Yeah. Just keep scrolling.
Just go somewhere else.
You don't have to like me. Like it's really
whatever,
okay.
Man. If you disagree, fine. Go somewhere else.
So anyway, that's just where we're at. Okay. And that's who we are. That's you know, you're going to find out more and more as we go on here. And we will, we make no bones about the fact that this is our time. Okay, that we are sharing with the world by doing it this way. And we also will not apologize, absolutely will not apologize for the fact that we have made this our mission. and our focus in our lives, and this is basically our business as well.
So the other funny thing about saying all of that is that this is
Yeah.
our time.
Yeah, it is our time.
Right? That we just happen to be
sharing with you.
So again, if people want to come on and be a part of our time, then you're more than welcome.
More than welcome. Like Steve did today.
Yeah, 100%,
you know, lots of comments from Steve. We really appreciate that. Steve,
but again, if you get triggered and upset and whatever and start yakking in the chat or whatever, then it's like you need to go somewhere else. Because
or if you need some therapy, you can
have,
always let me know.
Right, because you don't have to be here.
No.
It's your choice to click view.
Yeah. Some people are like caught in the drama though. Some people like to be activated and dramatic and whatever. But anyway, there's therapy for that, by the way.
Don't say that too loud.
But anyway, okay, I think we've talked long enough. It's been an hour and 10 minutes.
Wow.
I mean, that's lots. Yeah. I think coffee's done.
Coffee's over.
Might be bathroom break time.
Never. Let the cats out.
We'll start a new one, like Coffee Time with Kev and Ava, and then post show it'll be like bathroom break with Kev.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Oh, that might not be so good.
No.
But anyway. Okay, so that's that.
Okay,
so
let the cats out.
We'll catch you tomorrow or the next day, whenever the next day is. And yeah.
Let the cats out.
We'll
Let the cats out.
Okay.
All right.
Coffee's gone. Gotta go.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Bye.
Till next time.
Till next time. I don't know how to stop it. Oh, end stream. There we go.
Big red button.